It's no secret that healthcare in Northern Ontario lags behind the rest of the province. Even with the creation of the Northern Ontario School of Medicine in 2005, rural parts of Ontario are not getting the same level of care. Two of the biggest reasons: attracting doctors to the north and keeping them there.
I work full-time here and see mostly everything. It's right in the range we want it to be.
Arlene McCorry is a nurse practitioner in White River, Ontario. She cares for nearly everyone in the township of about 800 people because the community has no family physician and has been without one since 2015.
It's nice to have some peer support, the physician to consult with at times.
With a new gold mine in production, the population is expected to climb, meaning more patients at the White River Medical Clinic. For now, the township is relying on a temporary solution.
We have a locum that comes in 10 days a month, and that's great, except that our town is expanding.
As a nurse practitioner, McCorry diagnoses and treats illnesses, prescribes medications, and performs procedures, but can't order tests like MRIs or CAT scans. Trying to attract doctors to White River, which is about 300 kilometers north of Sault Ste. Marie, has been a challenge.
The problem with White River is that we don't have a hospital here, and we only have funding for one physician. So we look to the younger ones, and anybody coming out of school, they want to have peer support for sure. Plus they want to be able to use all of their skills, which means working in a hospital. So right now we're putting ads in the newspapers, in the medical journals. But as far as going to these recruitment fairs, we just don't have the funding to do that, and we don't have the manpower.
It kind of frustrates me because we're constantly neglected by the province.
We're covered under an underserviced area program where we do get some funding for the clinic, but the local taxpayers pay some of the operating costs here for the clinic, and so we are penalized for living in the north.
With funding for only one doctor and limited peer support available, Mayor Angelo Bazzoni says they're looking for an experienced physician.
Ideally, a health professional that is looking to get into a slower pace is what we'd like to lure. We've been successful in the past, and that would be ideal for somebody that wants to get out of the fast-paced medical provider and enjoy the country living that we have to offer.
Keeping doctors in the north is a reoccurring problem, not unique to White River. The town of Geraldton, about 4 hours northwest of White River, is funded for 7 physicians, but only has 3. There is, however, one community in Northern Ontario that is seen as a model of physician retention. The town of Marathon is located an hour west of White River. With a population of over 3,000, the community has a team of doctors, in fact, more than what the province funds.
We're currently funded for 6. We have 7. We've been at our best when we've had 9. And we've used the opportunity of having funding for 6 to share it among the 7 physicians. The currency isn't really money. The currency is time. People want to have the time to do the things that they value outside of medicine.
In 1995, the town went from 3 full-time physicians to just 1, and Marathon was in a healthcare crisis. That is where Sarah Newbery and her partner Ellie Orrantia and a team of newly minted graduates came in.
We wanted to work as a team. So there was a group of 6 that came with a similar idea to join a person here who was open.
A year later, the Marathon family practice was set up. The idea was simple. For physicians to thrive in rural medicine, they must work together.
Any decisions that we make that people don't feel that they can live with. And that's been really important. And that can be from the most junior person that's joined us to the most senior, and it's a sort of shared leadership in that way.
Recent figures from the Northern Ontario School of Medicine, also known as NOSM, shows 94% of graduates are staying in the north, but those numbers don't show the full picture.
What we see so far is that NOSM has been a great boon economically, as well as with physicians for the larger centers. folks are interested in Thunder Bay and Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie, Timmins, but the smaller communities have yet to reap that benefit of those graduating physicians.
And sometimes it's not just the doctors they have to convince, but their spouses.
Oftentimes it's the partner that is not finding a fulfilling employment, or there can sometimes be concerns for the kids and the education that they might get and what sports and such they might be involved in.
The province offers grants to doctors who build a full-time practice in rural communities for 4 years.
We know from some fairly good research that when physicians stay in a community for 4 years, they're likely to stay much longer, that there's something about getting to that 4-year mark that enables a commitment to the community.
Even after 21 years in Marathon, Dr. Newbery maintains her passion for rural medicine.
I serve my neighbors, I serve my children's teachers. The people that we serve as patients are the people with whom we live our lives. And the accountability that comes with that is challenging, but also deeply rewarding. And it's one of the things that I find the most satisfying about rural medicine.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario, helping businesses stay on the right side of change with strategic thinking, insightful decisions, and business leadership. Are you on the right side of change? Ask an Ontario CPA.